Hi, I'm Mark Newman, Chief Analyst at TM Forum. Delighted to be joined today by Brendan O'Brien. Brendan is Chief Innovation Officer at Aria, and delighted to have Aria support our research here on telcos building new revenue streams for new services. So we're going to have a brief conversation on that very theme. So good afternoon to you, Brendan. And you know, as we look at the world of telco, where do you see the best opportunities for telcos to grow their businesses today?
Well, I got to tell you, when I read the report, I was pretty happy because it echoes things that I've been saying for a while, and primary among them is that the opportunity lies in the B2B space now, and less so in B2C. Not that there's no opportunity in B2C, but B2B I think clearly outweighs it. And the reason that I think our perspective, Aria is a billing provider, so we're a billing system. So we see how the money flows and where the money comes in and where the need for sophistication and complexity arise. And what we've seen for a long time now, especially in telecom, is a reduction of complexity on the B2C side and an increase on the B2B side. And that's a good thing. We embrace that. And that's because B2B is taking on more stuff these days, right? And I think that stuff comes from two different areas, right? Number one is the monetization strategies around net new in-house, call them in-network driven initiatives, 5G driven things, but just things that you can now offer more creative ways to take the things that a telco already produces and offer them to in a B2B structure. But additionally, you need to add value for the business beyond voice, data, text, and physical devices. You need to be able to offer them software licenses, for example. And any form of sort of third-party services. So all of a sudden, telecom operators are having to look at the legacy systems they have and say, how do I stretch these systems beyond the boundaries and the constraints for which they were originally built? So that's what we see every day. And like I say, that adds up to greater complexity and therefore greater growth, hopefully, on the B2B side.
And I guess the challenge for telcos is while they see B2B as being the growth area, they're not entirely certain which parts of the BT market are going to be paved with gold and where to focus and which segments and which verticals. And so how can you as a BSS vendor help them to prepare for the future and build something which is flexible enough to be able to pivot if your initial strategy isn't the right one?
You have to be afraid, not afraid to fail, I guess, right? And the fear of failure. And by the way, none of us have crystal balls. None of us can, see with perfect clarity what's coming down the road. But the fear of failure comes from having failed before and the cost for having failed been so high, right? So the benefit of systems like ours, and I'm not here to do an Aria commercial, but they are configuration based, right? They're not about filing a change order that goes to an SI that lands on the desk of the vendor and then customizing your software and creating maybe solving the upfront problem at a very high cost over a long period of time and then living with the penalties that come with that customization forever. So the benefit of platforms like ours, platforms like Salesforce, platforms like ServiceNow that are cloud delivered and configuration based is that you can afford to make those mistakes, right? You can afford to make a guess, have the guess not go the way you planned, retract, redo, lather, rinse, repeat, right? That's the beauty of that kind of a platform and that kind of a delivery model.
Well, thank you so much for your support on the project, and I'm glad you think like us that the growth is B2B, and let's just hope we're proven right, Brendan.
All right.